What is up, lads, and welcome to a Football Manager video. And yeah, guys, this video was meant to be up last night, but I actually fell asleep watching the football matches last night, so I didn't have a chance to upload it. So yeah, I'm uploading this today. So what I'll kind of sort of show you is this is kind of like my Newcastle United save, and what I'll do is I'll show you sort of my transfers, and I'll show you my squad, and I'll show you the fixtures and the league table and all of that stuff. So yeah, I'll quickly crack on with it. I might as well. What we'll do is we'll go into transfers first, and I'll show you who I signed and who I let go, basically. So what happened was, at the start of the season, I didn't really have much money to spend. I only had about 4 or 5 million. My squad was quite good, you know, had some decent players, obviously, in the team. But I thought I needed a little bit strengthening, especially in defence. So what I pretty much went out and done was I signed, like, quite a lot of, you know, decent defenders, like Reveiw and this young Croatian fella. This guy, I would really recommend picking him up if you play Football Manager. If you just started a game, he's got really good stats, and he's got 4.5-star potential. Yeah, he's really absolute beast, to be honest. I really recommend picking him up. So yeah, that is him. And then obviously we've got Reveiw, and we've got a couple of other players, but obviously the standout player that I signed probably was Nene or Nathan Dyer, who are, you know, really good players. Like Nene, I wasn't actually going to sign him, but I think he got recommended, or he was up for sale or something. I'm not entirely sure what happened. And I was like, okay, let's put a £5 million bid in. And if you look at the stats, he's an absolute beast. Obviously, he's 30, so he's not getting any younger, but he's a really good player. And if he helps me get sort of like Champions League, it'll be worth every penny. And I spent 28.5 million, which, you know, is quite a lot, I suppose. You know, but I did let quite a lot of money sort of go out. I had a few sales, so there's some of the young players I signed, you know, just sort of random sort of young decent players, basically. And some of the players I let go, Lovenkrands for $1 million, you know, Danny Simpson went to Wolves, Rob Elliott went, Mike Williamson went, and the big one there was Gutierrez went to Bayern Munich for 5.5 million, which is quite a lot, to be perfectly honest. You know, I was quite surprised when they paid that for him, but, you know, I wasn't complaining. And it was all cash up front as well, which is, you know, always a bonus. Like, all of the ones, sort of the players I signed were just like sort of 48-month installments. So yeah, and obviously some of the other loan players went out the door. You know, a couple of loan people went to sort of random little teams like Gateshead and Scunthorpe. So yeah, they're the sort of the transfers from the team, and I'll show you my squad, and I'll show you the sort of the tactics and all that crazy stuff. This is pretty much the main formation. Actually, no, it's not. This is the main formation I used. I use this one pretty much for most games, you know, unless I come against a sort of a better side, I'll sort of change my formation a little bit. But this is kind of like the best 11. I'll just change it around. This is kind of, if I was playing a, you know, a good side at home, this is what I would run. I've got the 4 in defence, obviously, you know, you got the Croatian right back, Reveiw, Colaccini, and Santon, which is a really good defence. Tim Krul in goal, who's an absolute beast. In midfield, you know, I've got Toyota and Kabai just sort of sitting there in the middle. Toyota is slightly more defensive. And then you've got Dyer on the right, Nene on the left, and Ben Arfa in the middle. The only sort of bad thing about this is both my wingers are sort of like right-footed and left-footed. So Nene is like left-footed and Dyer's right-footed. So they can't really like cut in and shoot, you know what I mean? But because they're used as inside forwards, not attacking playmakers. Yeah. So well, that's kind of slightly annoying, but that's kind of the way it goes, I suppose. And obviously Demba Ba and Ben Arfa just behind him. Some of the players on the bench, you know, got like Stephen Taylor, Dan Gosling, Marvo, Vucic, Cisse. So yeah, I kind of don't like playing like 4-4-2 in Football Manager, or like a 2 strikers. I kind of just like the 1. I like to retain possession and sort of short passing game. That's kind of what I go for. And I'll show you my sort of my backup tactic. This is what I just sort of mix it around with, because if you're playing good sides, sort of like, the trick is not to just like use the same formation every single week, because the sort of good managers can sort of like realize what you're playing, they can sort of stop you. And yeah, and what I actually had at the start of the season, like before I bought many players, I had Dan Gosling there, and I had Ba on the left, and I had Cisse up front, but obviously I signed a few players and I changed it around a bit. But that's kind of the sort of the backup tactic. And what actually I'll show you as well, I didn't actually show you some more of the transfers. I've actually signed Gylfi Sigurdsson as well from Hoffenheim, but he joins at the end of the season, which is slightly frustrating, but that's the way it goes. Ryan Taylor's also left. I believe he's joined Bristol for $1 million, and Danny Gutierrez went to Leicester for $1 million as well. And I tried to sign Marlos, but the Ukrainian side didn't want to sell him, which was quite funny. But yeah, that's what I'll show you now. I'll show you this sort of the league table, I suppose, Premiership. And what I'll do is I'll show you the fixtures first, then I'll show you the league table. So this is the sort of the fixtures. Pre-season was quite simple, really. You know, there was nothing particularly amazing. You know, like if you look at the hardest sort of team I faced was Roma, and I won quite comfortably 2-0. I won pretty much every game in pre-season. It was quite an easy pre-season, really. I could have done with maybe some slightly tougher games, but it kind of got my confidence high for the season, basically. We kicked it off with a nice 3-2 win over Swansea, and it will also be Chelsea at home 3-2, which was quite a nerve-wracking game. I went 3-0 up, and they brought it back to 3-2, and I just scraped over the line. But I pretty much won all of these games here, as you can see. A 4-2 win at Arsenal was quite a good win. I'll sort of show you the stuff on that. Basically, half time I was getting beat 1-0. I gave my team a right pep talk at half time, and they come out like a different side. And I'll show you what was that. I was using the 4-5-1 in that game, and yeah, and really I was really impressed with that win. You know, if you look at the stats, obviously Arsenal dominated sort of possession and stuff, but I played in the counter attack and I won the game, which was quite impressive. My first loss, unfortunately, was against Man City, but if you look at Man City's team, yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, really. You know, they've got Edin Dzeko, Carlos Tevez, Aguero, Dani, Company, Yaya Toure, Richards, Lescott, Cliche, Amangi, and Joe Hart. So yeah, that was pretty tricky game. You know, when you first City in this sort of game, it was really difficult. They got some really good players, especially on the first season when you sort of just building your own team. Actually lost in the League Cup to Arsenal, which is slightly disappointing. Actually dominated the game, but I suppose it's only the League Cup and it's not, you know, something to worry about sort of too bad. Good 0-0 draw there with Tottenham at home. I kind of went for the 0-0. I got 60% possession. I basically just passed the ball around my own defence pretty much. I just told them I keep possession at all costs, basically. So there's sort of the fixtures. I won quite a, you know, had quite a good patch through there, really. And I'm picking it up again. Obviously, the next game is Man United, which is going to be a, you know, tricky game. Man United away at Old Trafford's never easy. We've got Everton after that, then QPR. There's quite a lot of easy games there. You know, not easy, but they're sort of not as hard, shall we say. You know, like Everton at home will be tough, but I'm at home, so I fancy myself. QPR away, Norwich home. There, sort of the 3 new promoted sides, so I'd fancy 9 points there. So yeah, I'll show you the league table as well, just to sort of show you where we're up to. After 15 games, we're top of the league, obviously. Only lost the 1 game, 40 points. I'm going along quite nicely, I've got to say. I've never really started this well before on a first save with sort of a team. So yeah, so I'm quite impressed how it's going, to be perfectly honest. You know, I'm doing pretty well. Obviously at the bottom you got Blackburn, Wigan, Swansea, and Sunderland there on 11 points. Yeah, I'll show you some of the sort of the transfers in the league, shall I? Yeah, I'll show you some of the transfers in the league. And the sort of the big transfer was Rafa Van der Vaart went to AC Milan for 18.75 million, which is quite a lot for him, to be perfectly honest. Danny went to Man City. Arsenal signed quite a few players, actually. They signed Busquets, Fellaini, and they signed quite a lot of decent players. I'll show you Arsenal's squad. Let's have a look. This is Arsenal's. We'll show you. That's Arsenal's team. It's quite, you know, it's pretty good, really. You know, they've got Alex Song, Busquets, Van Persie, so they're going to be a bit of a threat. You know, if you look at the table, the Man City are only 5th, which is kind of a bit strange, really. I thought they'd be a little bit higher, but it's quite tight there if you look. They're all on 31 points. But my target is pretty much just to come in the top 4 to sort of make sure I get Champions League. Then next year I can sort of build on that, really. I don't think there's anything else I was going to show you. I'll show you the Man United squad, see if they've signed anyone that interests you at all. Let's have a look at their squad. Let's have a look at their tactics. I don't think they actually signed many players, to be perfectly honest. Got Wayne Rooney on the wing, which is kind of strange, but yeah. I'll show you the sort of the stats for the sort of the Premiership season so far. Let's have a look. Where we're going. Where we go. It's always a bit of a fail when you're sort of doing it like this. You can never sort of find where you want to go. Where we're going. Premier League. That's what we're doing. Premier League. Team stats. That's the one. If you look at the stats there, obviously I'm top of the form league. Attendances I'm 3rd, and yeah, it's going quite along nicely. I'll try and get the player stats. That's what I wanted. Yohan Cabaye has been really impressive for me. I'll show you his season so far. He's been a bit of a beast, really. Average rating of 7.23 in the league, which is, you know, really impressive. 3 goals in 15 appearances, and he's also got quite a lot of assists as well, I do believe. He's got history, and 11 assists in 15 games and 3 goals. So that's like in 14 out of the 15 games he's got me a goal just by him, basically. So yeah, absolute beast. Cabaye. Look at his stats as well. He's absolute monster. So yeah, other sort of things. Let's have a look at the the goals, Peter Lovenkranz is second top goal scorer, which is kind of weird, I suppose. Nathan Dyer is actually my top goal scorer, which is a bit of a surprise, really, considering he plays on the wing. And that is pretty much it. Man of the match is Tony Hibbert's got 3, which is quite laughable, really. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. There's not going to be a FIFA video out today because I'm kind of busy this afternoon, so I do apologise about that. But hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to put up the rest of the season, I'll do that either Monday or Tuesday. See how it goes. See if you like this. I'm not entirely sure if you like it or not. It's kind of a little bit boring, I suppose. You know, just looking at the screen, just looking at what I've sort of done for the season. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and peace.